Hello Marvel Heroes fans, a number of you have requested me to take another look at the rogue guide I've built a while ago, and I'm more happy to do it for you guys to validate certain things. In reality though, assuming the Gazillion can update a hero every 2 weeks, we have 52 heroes, so it does take a while for the rotation to come in. So in terms of build and so on, there aren't a lot of changes. But I'm happy to just look at the number with a fresh mind and sort of like just play Rogue again for you guys. And before I moved on to the next bit of the video on this Rogue guide, I would like to just thank you all for contacting me in game as well as in YouTube. I know quite a number of you have come back to the game, been away for a while, so welcome back. And you find the guides useful, and some of you, found that some content you're actually able to conquer it after watching some of my guides. I'm very flattered as well. Thank you. And just keep pinging me in game. I'm more than happy to interact with you. Sometimes my chat is closed, and I may miss your. Actually, I miss quite a lot of messages, but I do read them all. Just would like to let you know. So if you have a question that I'm unable to answer on the spot, just keep pinging me, and I'll do my best to answer for you. All right. So now, when it comes to Rogue, let's talk about what we are going to do today. As for the recent guide that I have, I would like to just talk a little bit about the current state of the hero, and also explain some of the uniqueness about the hero as well, so that you could pick up and make a better job on this hero. And for Rogue, it's very special because I would like to share some tips with you on building your Rogue. So even if you are not entirely excited or interested in ranged hybrid, the one that I'm having, at least I have some tips for you on how to build yours to be strong as well. And I'll share with you why my build is actually pretty decent, and try to sell you the idea of my build, but feel free to modify from there. Some in-game video clip and so on and so forth. Alright, so now the current state of Rogue is quite interesting because her unique just freshly been revealed, patch 1.83. So I've gone in and I've noticed a really nice boost to her health. Like her health I think was about low 20. Now it's like going to be 30,000. I'm not even gearing for health, and I don't really put a lot of effort to do so for Rogue. And of course, I'm very pleased. It does shows one thing though. If you compare Rogue as of now to say Psylocke as of now, the Psylocke is still at the low 20 health range, while Rogue is already going to be hitting the 30,000 kind of like a range. So for harder content like Danger Room, of course, Rogue seems to be a little bit more advantaged compared to some other older design dated heroes. So she's no longer dated, as one good news in terms of gear wise. I'm able to also improve a lot on the kill time. Previously was really under par. Now it's actually quite exciting, but not on the slot 5. I'll talk about the gear a little bit later. I still would like to maintain my slot 5 as the any hero unit. I use the Mars or Sion, and if I use her unique for slot 5, I can't really do much on time to kill as well. So yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing is that I think there's some quality of life improvement. Mainly the signature now hit harder on explosion, as well as recuperate spirit, which is good because her spirit regeneration is always a little bit hard prior to this. And also the ultimate, a lot of people like me do not like transformation type of ultimate, saying that it is more like a DPS loss or so on. I think eventually Gazillion got it and sort of buff her ultimate to a level whereby it could become more meaningful. So I would need to, of course, do more testing to it, but all these are very positive. But I'm still hoping for a lot from Gazillion in terms of Rogue, because a lot of us who are into playing Rogue like to have various different build or option to it. You can't really switch, say, from melee to ranged, because all the stolen or borrowed power from the melee or ranged will not apply to melee. So you have to every time when you want to switch from ranged to melee, you have to go and steal or borrow power and beg your friends to come online to let you steal their power and so on. So it becomes very, very tedious to switch. especially when you would like to sort of max and min everything and want to see, oh, is this better or is that better? I mean, although I have a lot of friends, but none of them probably, I would not even bother them to say, could you stay in the training room for another 2 hours for me while I'm swapping all the power to my heart desire? I wouldn't do that to you guys, right? So in that aspect, I really wanted or hoped, I think a lot of like a rogue community hoped that her power borrowed or stolen can be remembered for life. So you steal once or borrow once, and you can just swap it out anytime you like. That would be really, really, really tremendously good. But that's really far from reality. And also, I mean, in order to make a hero that can play hybrid and so on, or even summoner, if you look at other heroes like Rocket Raccoon or Doctor Doom or Black Panda, in order to make that work, you need some kind of synergizing between the power itself. It's not just as simple as you mix some power and you hope everything works. It doesn't work that way. Specialization would have been good because you could specialize your rogue to be a hybrid one or pure one or even summoner. To make certain power even better, because without the synergy, if you look at other hero design, they always have some synergy between different power. Like if you do this within 8 seconds, you do the other one will be buffed, or if you do this 2 power, you do this power will be better. But all this borrow power is like a mixed bag, so it doesn't really have that kind of synergy. So without a specialization option, it is really lacking in that sense. So I don't know, it would be a massive rework on their end, with all these new heroes, new team up, and new villain coming in. I mean, the good thing though is that they keep adding all this power to her sort of like choices when it comes to borrow or stolen power. And also, I think this one is from me. So far, I still can't find a viable physical range power to really use. I mean, there's none. I don't think there is really a physical range power. And consider the fact that in this game, there's so many physical range power, and you have none to borrow. It's kind of mind-boggling. So I don't know. So that because I built my rogue as a hybrid range, so it's always a little bit harder. And but despite all that has been said, that next quality of life could be just 2 years away from now. So my guy, Good News, can probably stay for another 2 years. But she's really fun because she's unique. Her uniqueness comes from the fact that you get to build a hero that you want her to be. She's probably a blank slate. If you don't do any of her melee power that come with her, you can just build her as tanky or summoner or like a DPS as you like, and so on and so forth. But that also means that sometimes if you mix things that does not synergize to each other, at least at the very fundamental level, she may not be as fun, or the thing may not flow. So that is why I'm here to help in this guide. I'm going to share with you my experience when I built my rogue. For those who are new to Rogue, I would like to give some introduction to how she actually plays like. I still maintain the fact that because she is so unique, she's able to expand her variety of power that she could borrow or steal from now till the future, from the team up, from the villain and the heroes. She is actually one of star buys, I would say, although she's the most expensive hero. Right? So now to play Rogue, she has 3 power trees like any other hero. The first tree is very much her melee kind of like a power. If you like to play Rook as the original design as the melee, then that is one tree that you should pay attention to. And then she has another 2 tree. One is for friends, another one is for foes. So you could borrow up to 6 powers from the enemies and borrow 6 powers from friends and steal 6 power from the enemies. All right, so you have 12 power, blank slate, your choice. And but in order to put some structure to it, because otherwise, you may borrow say 12 damage over time kind of power. It becomes quite hilarious. Just mash 2 hot bars to apply 12 damage over time. So it doesn't work that way. So Gazillion puts some structure for us. She can borrow up to 3 passive together with her own passive is quite a fair bit. She can also have 2 support powers. So what are the support powers? Think about it like a buff or permanent toggle she can have. She can have 2 impact power. Those are like upfront damage plus a cooldown before the next time you can execute them again. She can have 2 attrition power, more like a damage over time. Usually you hit it, and after that there's a damage over time layer that carry on to it. And then you can pick any number of core power. Core power, things like Spander, basic power, power that you can move around, movement. Those are core power. You can spam most of them. Most of them you can spam, and those are the one you can pick any number you like. So this is the rule of the game when it comes to rogue. And before building your rogue, right? Because it's all blank slate. So you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. So I'm trying to here, sort of share my experience with you, just in case you want to deviate from what I have here and build your own rogue in your own way. So the first thing, of course, you like to consider is that are you going to have a pure damage type of physical, which is very convenient because she is already physical hero in terms of the melee, or you want to have a hybrid. But when you talk about hybrid, it's going to be hybrid 2, hybrid 3, because she can do hybrid on 2 types or 3 types, right? Or you would like to go for is it going to be a melee? Now, when I say melee in all my guides, actually there's very little pure melee. Melee is always mixed a little bit of range, but range is always a pure range, right? So is your rogue going to be a melee? So you like to play up close and personal and take care of your damage reduction as well, or are you going to play as a range or even a summoner, because she can borrow power in summoner, so you can have a hybrid plus summoner if you want to. And what about team buff? Because team buff it's a pretty decent thing. It does add a chunk of stats to your hero, and with up to 3 passive, you can have up to 3 team buffs as well if you pick the right power. Do you need that many team buff? Would you like to wrap around with all these team buff, or actually go for others that you find it more profitable? Then you look into your damage reduction, because it's a blank slate, right? So if your rogue is fragile, it's probably you to blame in a way. Although I feel that her passive is not that strong, and so you may need to say instead of all out for damage output, I may want to pick some passive or support that help me with a better damage reduction. All right, so that is some of the consideration that you may want to take in. Think before you build your rogue. And of course, another question is very hard to answer as well, and that's why I'm here to help with my sort of experience. Is that when you borrow power and so on, how do you know which powers are effective or viable? Because there's so many power to do, and I rely quite heavily on marvelheroes.info. I know they may or may not update the website very religiously. But the way I look into the artifacts and so on, it seems that stats are pretty correct. So I'm presuming the number could be somewhat correct as well. Just take reference from there and verify. Usually what I do is that I theory craft based on some number, and then I go to in-game and borrow power and sort of to verify if that is something that it really stick to what I've the numbers tell me. All right. So but if you are not sure, because you are not into spending, I spent actually the whole entire weekend just looking into rogue's borrowed power, see which one is viable or not. But if you are not into that kind of tedious thing, you rather just farm some merits in the danger room rather than spending 2 days on 1 or 2 days into punching numbers, then I would suggest that I think a lot of them are common sense, because any power with the utility to it usually will take a hit in terms of the damage output. Now, it's not like a blanket statement, but usually for any power that you borrow, there's some kind of utility to it, like weaken, vulnerability, or knockdown, or whatnot. You could probably assume that it will take some penalty somewhere. So I prefer those are very vanilla, okay, I hit it for this amount of damage, and I don't need to worry about any other additional conditions to it, because sometimes you just want to pick the right power to do the right job. And there are some power that give a certain buff to certain things, and you realize that those are probably a good power to also look into, because the power itself will get amplified under certain conditions that may synergize with the power that you picked. All right. So, but last but not the least, you could build the rogue to be the strongest rogue out there, and so on. But then ask yourself one thing: is it going to be fun to play? Because is it too hard to manage spirit? Is it going to be too fragile? Is it going to be too weak? Cannot deal much damage? Is it going to be too clunky when you move around? So this is the thing that you have to face it. You look into all these fundamental, because building a hero is not easy, and you are actually simulating yourself to be part of Gazillion to try to build a hero. It is never an easy job. For those of you who have played Rogue and try to figure out your build will probably agree with me. Getting something fun to get going is actually quite hard. All right, so but how about my Rogue? Maybe I share with you. This is a sales pitch right now. Why I feel that the build I have here is something that worthwhile your time to take a look into. Right. My build philosophy has always been, the following, because I think if you have been following my guides for quite some times on various hero, I don't always go all out for damage because I would like to enjoy. So my fundamental number one philosophy is always fun. I always need to have a fun hero that I can maneuver and at ease and not too taxing, not too or mechie all the time and so on and so forth. And things must flow well, and that is really my cup of tea. And I would like my hero to be strong, but also to be balanced as well, because there's no point to be strong and then it get melted within seconds in face of harder content. I would like my hero to have visual effect as well, because without the visual effect, I'm feeling very disengaged with the game, and it's no fun, right? I mean, if whatever I see just number popping up, and that's why when I pick Rogue, as you will see later on, all the power I picked has some very nice feedback to me visually to tell me that the power is at work. So I love it. And single hotbar is always my goal, but with Rogue is a little bit hard. But I get it almost single hotbar, and I'd like to show you that as well. And and that's why I go for ranged, because range is a lot easier for me to satisfy all these criteria I have. And so might have some survival utilities as well, because for range I don't have the 8% mitigation, but I'm actually not that close to all this mess at front as well. So I do have to pay attention to some of the survival utility. I'm picking a hybrid 2. Hybrid 3 was on the table, but there was no viable ranged physical power out there, and I could get around it. I'll show you later how you can expand that in the hybrid 3. But I realized that with animation and so on, and the clunkiness, and you spend spirit on something that you don't really get the power doesn't really do much, but it procs certain things. I don't think that was fun, at least not to me, because in my current setup, most of my stuff is just single hotbar, except that one single power called Glove Off that have her one, I think it's a 1 minute cooldown power. So I also find a hybrid is relatively more fun to gear compared to a pure damage type. So that is my Rogue, and I would like for you to take a look at that, and let's discuss and let's talk about Rogue. All right, this is Danger Room Cosmic version, and it's actually kind of difficult as well, but we'll see how it goes together with me, my wife SaintCub, playing Iceman. And let me just bring on my most trusted team up, and here we go. So I will try to explain her gameplay as well as I proceed towards all these things, and I'll try to be careful as well. And the Danger Room is always a bit have to be mindful of what's around you. All right, and there's a bit of lag. All right, so I just want to take care of all these things here. All right. Okay. So I have to be aware, and so there's some, basically I'm going to walk through with you a power that I use as well. And there are a couple of power that we have here, and just making sure all the cooldown and the damage over time are being applied on the right places. All right. So, okay. And I have invisible kind of utility as well. Previously was more useful for the oh wow, this hurts, man. Try not to rush the thing, because wow. Okay, let's see. So this is the signature of Rogue, and and Raging Cajun just use it whenever it's off cooldown, because whenever you crit, the cooldown is getting reduced as well. So you like to just you don't need to think too much when to use a Raging Cajun to buff or whatnot. You just try to buff everything you have there's really no point like waiting for it to happen. So whenever it's off cooldown, do it, and then run to another one, and then it can spread to another one. Oh man, the floor is dangerous. So yep, just patiently burning our way through it, and and I hope with some luck we shall be able to do a chest. And this time around, I'll make sure I look around to see that I have it somewhere on the map, because I think I missed the second one. It was spawned too far away, I couldn't see it. And yeah, I mean, just mashing the button here. And the priority is always on the minus destruction, because that's the first part. Something good about Rogue is that I like the kind of like priority system. It's not like just rotation itself, because the duration of the power for the flames of the fountain as well as the lava avalanche actually is longer than the cooldown itself. So you could clip it, but you usually clip it on a different kind of region, rather than just oh wow, this is a wrecking ball, man, rather than just clip it. Yeah, I mean you can clip it, but you can clip it on another location rather than clipping it at the same location that you're using. All right, so that is usually how I play it. And I mentioned there's a priority system, because the minor destruction is always your first order of business, because that is a cooldown that you should spam it as much as you could. And the next one is really about the lava avalanche, because it has an impact cost to it, impact component to it. So you like that to happen as well. And the last one is the flame of the fountain, because that is really about the because that one you just put it into another location rather than clipping it all the time. So that is usually my priority system, and feel free to modify as your own as well. But I feel that is probably the best way to move forward to play Rook in a very fun manner. And I mean, for those who have been playing other MMO as well, I think rotation has been a very old design, and the newer design actually is the priority system, which is you have a priority like which one to use and kind of thing, and rather than just like blindly run through your rotation. So that is, whoa, hang on, try not to get hit by the wrecking ball. And I need to take down some enemy as well. I can go like invisible. So now we have to continue and try not to get hit by the wrecking ball. And the enemy itself will be like will spawn some of this like ice block cannot work as well. I hope, but at least I think ice block can heal back. I'm trying to sort of like talk to my wife as well. We are teamwork here. Right, we are teamwork here, and we are just trying to make sure that we get a survival kind of like a bonus. It is a lot more fun to play with friends, actually. I mean, to be very honest. And well, I mean, it's one of those things that in retrospect, I think the more we play this, we probably would become like more expert to it. Is that it's better not to rush through the content, especially when you have to go back, trace back, and do stuff as well. All right, so ice block is very important. Always spam it if you're playing Iceman. It's really funny. I'm talking to my wife, like but anyway. Okay, so back to Rogue itself. Wow, that one was a big hit, man. Come on, man. Okay, so we are still trying our best to get the mob count. All right, so. And the invisible is good. Just and the invisible actually lasts for quite some time as well. And raging Cajun as well. As and when I need to use it. All right. So that is another enemy down. So I presume there's a whole bunch here. We would be having wow. Okay. So that is really gloss off. And after that, do a signature here. And the all right. So invisible. All right, another location to start to think about where to put the flame of the fountain and the lava avalanche. You see, two areas at the same time, very neat. All right, and there's an explosion as well for minor destruction. So this build is really fun. I mean, if you really get the hang of it and to get to appreciate the mechanic that go into it, and you probably would agree that this is a kind of fun thing to have. And I'm just like invisible at will. And all these things also. Now, why do I keep doing core, attrition, and invisible? I'm using the Red Skull passive as well. It pays off if you continue to sort of like, you know, swap some power as well. All right. So I can't use Mad Kid. My invulnerability core will not work, and I just have to do it the old-fashioned way, which is like just finding my way through more carefully. All right, so that is there's a minor destruction, raging Cajun, invisible, and I'm thinking where best to put down my signature. I mean, all these mobs are taking a while to down as well, so just like, you know, whenever you need to just burn whatever best you have. I think down south there are some area that's not open, so we are heading there. The two heroes of Marvel heroes are heading there to save the world. All right. Yeah. So I don't know, man. This part of the I mean, you know, it's just taking a bit long. I think last time there was a bug. I think they fixed it for group play to make it a consistent experience between group and solo. But it make the solos, I mean, group play is also a lot like taking a really long time to down something. This is the boss, and it's good. Just need to make sure that aware of the wrecking ball that probably hit you when you least expected, and especially with my kind of like visual effects going on. I mean, it suffice to say it's not easy to see what's happening. Okay, I'm going to gloss off and then use a signature, help me to return some spirit as well, and there we go. I think that would be it. That would be the end of the Gungnir. Too unique for me. I'm still upgrading my unique, playing my rook right now, the unique review, and the okay, I'm second towards here. All right, so Lavalanche. Wow, wrecking ball, man! Come on, it's so hard not to swear in this game. Wow, this is pretty crazy, insane, no? You can't even see, I can't see, man. Seriously, again I have to review some footage and see what has gone wrong. But the wrecking ball is that by the time I see something coming, it's already hit me, and take out a big chunk of my health by doing so. So man, I mean, we are still hunting for the last few ones. It remind me of the the game Diablo as well. You have to like go into various kind of like dungeon to get the exact count, and it's not exactly fun, but it is what it is right now to get the exact count. All right, so all right, simulation completed. Go to somewhere safe, and then head to the next one. Very good. Okay, so very exciting. Next bit, I hope it's not as taxing. So this one, I've rescued the shield agent. So I don't know, man. I'm inclined to just like just work towards there, because you never know what's going to happen. That I have to come back anyway to take down all these mobs. So may as well, all right. So as my wife is doing the thing, and I'm just trying to play it safe here. And here a lot of birds on my side as well. Today is Sunday, so the birds are taking leave, and they drop by my place. And it's not always I hear a lot of birds in my place really, but it's kind of fun. It's as though I'm living in the garden. Well, actually I live right inside city, and there's really a lot of birds right now. Okay, man, I think let me just like let me do a signature, gloss off, and a signature. May as well pump up the most efficient, effective power. All right, so that is down. I hope. I don't know. Do I need to because do I need to sort of like take down all this trash mob in order to make progress? I do not know. And the invisible. So you can see is okay, one death already. I think really the best way to just stick around and just slowly move toward it, right? Because otherwise you lose a bonus, and there's no really point to just make it too fast, and then and you'll do it again anyway for the thing. So just stay together, stick together. That's the key of the danger room. No hero here. Just be patient, get it sorted. Okay, so that is one. So there's a lot of fire there. So what do? I go there, invisible, and then save. So that's fine. Get it sorted. Okay, man. Wow, the wrecking ball is no joke, man. It's like you can't even see is coming. It's just Russian roulette kind of thing. All right, man. Where is it? Really? Oh yeah, there was a mini boss. Now I got to enjoy 2 double unique. Not bad. Yeah, just stay together, really.
See where you are.
Yeah, just teleport to me. Just teleport. So yeah, I mean we are only down to 2 life. It's not looking very good. So this particular scenario is already a lot of things that is like lost. So you just need to spam ice block when you can, please. Yeah, so that would really help because ice block will give you invulnerable. I can do it slowly. All right. Oh man, I got hit by the wrecking ball. This is well without. Okay. That was a big risk, but it can't pay off. I suspect we probably need to. Wow, this is like I think require a little bit of patience to get it sorted. Yeah, and the good thing about keep killing thing is that it spawns the healing orbs, so it does pay off when you sort of like because if you hit by a wrecking ball, there's a higher chance to be able to. All right, Lavalanche. Minus destruction, flame of the fountain. Get a glob here. There's a lot of globs. So as you hit the mob, there's a lot of globs. So it is definitely very very worthwhile to have that kind of thing. All right. So signature time going in. All right. Yeah, getting hit by the wrecking ball. Yeah, very patiently working our way through. All right. Okay, man. How many more do I need to get? How many more? Okay, so this is a mini boss. Yet another very interesting encounter. Spirit is really not an issue for Rook after the unique review, which is great. Okay, man. It's the signature time. Try to take out more while I'm at it. Okay, let me just loot here. Okay, wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff here as well. Yeah, extremist infused. Alright, so it's just like just take no chance. Whenever you can spam the signature. Alright, done. And the let me see. Wow, I can't even loot anything, man. That is really not fair. Okay, man. The last one is the one that is here. Oh man, I really. So okay, signature time. Try not to be too greedy. I think so long as we save someone, I hope. Yeah, the good thing about once you start hitting something, the health globe keep coming to use, so that really helps on a lot of stuff. And I think what we do is just someone sneak in and go and okay, done. So now I have to fill up the okay next one. All right, let's do it. So this is boss time. 2 more life left. Hope things will be fine. This is what. Oh, Hood, you have to keep moving, alright? So I think I got defeated by Hood last time. This one is really have to keep moving up, keep moving and keep because he'll one-shot anybody. Just keep moving. Try to get his bullet out. Okay. Alright, this is the signature time. And after I reply, I'll do ultimate. Okay, man, this is the first time I'm seeing the ultimate of like of Rogue. All right, so I really don't quite understand what is going on right now. I'm just smashing button. I'm hoping that Rogue is strong enough to take any of those thing. There's a lot of button to mash right now here for the new Rogue signature. All right, so it's very exciting, and I think we'll win. Yes, we got the survival, kind of like a bonus to it. Man, how exciting it was. Oh, man, my heart is beating like really hard right now. Done. Yeah, it was really exciting. So I hope you are convinced that with the right team composition, and I checked the two boxes this time round, and with the right team composition, I mean Rogue is doing pretty good job in even harder content as well. All right, so let's head to the training room and talk a little bit about the build and so on. So this is the moment you've been waiting for. What kind of power do I steal from friends and foes? So here we go. The first tree is more like the Rogue kind of default tree on melee. I don't do melee, so the only thing I need to have is the clear resilience. It's alright, I think. After the unique review, you get a lot better on the health side, but the passive itself is just alright. Then on the steal from friends and steal from foes side, there are a couple of recommendations I'd like to make here. So let's talk about the main power, which is the defense of the Farella, which you can steal from Doctor Strange. Now it is a mental power, it's a core power. The good thing about it is that it has the 20% increase in damage addition to whatever you have. After you use a cooldown power, but it's up to 5 times, so you can multiply by whatever 100% inside. So it gets better as you start playing the laying all the cooldown. It's quite easy as well for Rogue. There's so many cooldown. The whole entire bar you see there is cooldown. So this synergizes pretty well. Is it the best power for range? It is not. The best actually I think is this EMF from the Silver server. However, I'm unable to sustain the kind of like EMF power. It's still using an old design of the Silver server. If you play Silver server today, EMF, check out my video guide on that one. EMF for Silver server is not really a spirit issue, and but Silver server has all this like other mechanism to regen spirit pretty well synergized with the EMF, and also for Rogue's version of EMF, it doesn't, once you stop channeling, you lose the buff as well. So it is not that ideal. At the end of, I tried switching out a few times, and at the end I still stick to Fans of the Farella, which I believe is probably one of the better options out there for ranged build. All right, so that is a mental power. That is the core power for the single spender. For the layer, let's talk about attrition first. Attrition is a damage over time. Flames of the Valentine from Team Up Clear will give you this sort of like it's very nice. I love it because the cooldown is shorter than the duration itself, so you can potentially overlap 2 of them, covering a wider area. If the boss move around, no worry. 4 seconds up, you can reapply again. You don't need to wait until 6 seconds to apply. So it also does a vortex as well. They kind of like suck everything. It's sort of like you try to suck everything inside, like an implosion. And so from the number perspective, it's actually pretty decent. And another one I would highly recommend is Lavalanche as well. I mean, again, this is the one that the duration is longer than the cooldown itself. Potentially can cover a wider area, and it has an impact component to it. The moment you use Lavalanche, it kind of like hit the mobs as well. So there are 2 components: the damage over time and the other one. So you may think before you want to clip certain power in terms of duration itself. In terms of the impact, I'll highly recommend a minus destruction. That is a very nice, like they have the beam damage and explosion damage, and he has a cooldown of 4 seconds. It's not too long, it's just nice, and it's probably one of the hardest hitting impact out there for an area and single target alike. And this is mental, and back to just now, the Lavalanche is actually energy. So with these 2, energy and mental, you can proc the build that I'm using, which is the hybrid 2. Alright, so that is the 2 layers. In terms of the support itself, there are 2 support I'd like to recommend as well. Raging Cajun from Gambit. This is wonderful because it does the kind of like energy, kind of like damage to all the mobs that's being affected by it. And it has a buff, nice buff to the crit, kind of thing. It's 10-second buff, and it's actually pretty cool. And as you crit, it reduces the cooldown to sort of like you can reapply Raging Cajun faster than 30 seconds usually. All right, so that is a very nice to have if you gear for endgame, and I recommend just maxing on that one. Then the next one to look at invisibility. Now, before it was more crucial, but now it's not, because now you can recover spirit through the signature, the recall overload. There's certain like you can restore 25 spirit per second while channeling, so that is really nice. And but having said that, I like the fact that I can go invisible every 3 seconds out of 10 seconds. So you whatever formula you have on your damage reduction, I'm pretty sure you can work out something that 30% of the time no one can see you. So that is really nice. It's invisible, not stealth. Stealth will become unstealthed if you use any power. Invisible will remain as invisible as you deal damage. So that is wonderful thing to have. All right, on to the passive side. Now, okay, before I go to passive, you may want to say try hybrid 3. Hybrid 3 means that you want to do mental, energy, and physical. Now, the reason why I stick with mental energy is that a lot easier to gear, a lot easier for me to achieve the outcome through the Omega system. However, if you really like to have 3 type of damage, you can do so too for range build. The one that I recommend is actually from Mr. High, the Shockwave, which is a very nice range kind of thing, but it's a melee tag to it. It has an animation to it. It has a very interesting mechanism as well. It becomes a cooldown if I think there's some support power being used or whatnot. So do check out the power if you really want to mix that into your hotbar. But I can't find any space here, and I stick with my configuration. And to be honest, I tried that as well using Mr. High's every 6 seconds or 7 seconds I use it to prop my power dupe. But in the end, I realized that it doesn't really make my DPS go up. It actually makes my DPS go down because of all these animations and so on. So I opt not to do it, and I go for simplicity. Okay, now in terms of passive, there are tons of choices out there. It depends on how you feel about how fragile your hero is. Do you need the kind of extra help from the passive? Because you only have one passive here, which is the on the defense. So by right, with one passive or any other hero, you have another passive for the DPS. So what are those options out there? I believe that Destroyer Vengeance from the Drag is still one of the best out there we have today, because it gives you a 2% flat brutal chance. That is very nice because you need quite a lot of rating to get the 2%, and this 2% is not affected by the diminishing return, just add on top. And also, if you look at the crit, your crit chance or crit rating versus the brutal rating, the brutal actually get lower because you get about 50 or more than 50 because of the Hela. Without the Hela, you're only getting about 20 something. It's good news because whatever brutal strike rating you add onto it, it has a lesser diminishing return out from it. Alright, so that I recommend 20 to it, and I would also recommend 1 point in this because that would also buff the range power, very nice, from Hawkeye, buff the range power, give you a crit damage rating as well, which is also very nice, and the 2% on top of whatever you have, that is also decent. Because if you do a hybrid, if you play a hybrid rogue, you probably use a power cosmic legendary like I have, and you're probably lacking on the crit side. So this will help you to pump up your crit a little bit further. All right, so that is the one. You could also consider Punisher. In the end, I don't find any different change to it, not that much. So I stick with what I'm comfortable with. The third one is quite controversial. Because if you are uncomfortable about your rogue finding her a little bit fragile even on ranged mode, you could consider stuff like Tombstone. Tombstone give a very nice toughness kind of team buff as well as a whole bunch of health and so on. I find that Red Scout actually a good mix of two. With the gear, it does give you a little bit more health, a little bit more spirit. Back then was really required. But the more attractive things about it is that it gives you close to 600 damage rating. If you use attrition, impact, and support. Now, if you follow my build here, you'll be using all these 3 types, within 10 seconds, no problem to it. All right, so that is something that I would recommend you to put 1 point to it. And also, I've been trying the Accursed Beam as well. I know some of you have been asking for it. I think without the spirit issue today, because now the unique design mini review has solved a majority of Rook's spirit issue, so I don't really think that you need to go down that path. And also, this is not really that ideal. If you time the time to kill, a Cursed Beam doesn't give you that much out from it. And the 1 point on gloss off, like I said, I have no other choice but to put it on the F3. F3 is my gloss off. So it's every every 1 minute. So it is like so what I usually do is time it with my total recall. The second total recall, I'll do a close off first before total recall. That's what I do. Then the 1 point on the vanish from Kiriki, this is wonderful. There are many teleport kind of like power you can use for Rook, and this help you. It doesn't teleport too far, which is a shame, but it does teleport. It has a pretty heavy spirit cost to it as well, though, and the but the great thing about it is that it pumped the dodge rating a little bit up. So if you put the gear back, it is actually pretty okay. So it as you teleport around, you gain another extra 1% on damage reduction and extra couple of percent on extra chance of dodge. Why not, right? So that is what my strong recommendation is. I'm very passionate over this build because I spend a lot of time finding out what works for me, what not. There will be out there. There will be other builds that may or may not work. May work better than this one as well, but this one I feel that it flows really well. I'm very comfortable with it. I'd like to share that with you. As for the Omega system, this is just a reference because you use the system to close some gap that you may have. If you want to build her to be more durable, please do so. Feel free to shift some of the points around. So I enjoyed like spin tech 10 to give the against boss, and then I go all the way down here for the plus 10 energy. But because I do energy and mental, so I don't mind investing on this one as well, and some of these items along the way. Shadow King for the crit and so on. Then I've got some spare points, so may as well grab one more energy. A little bit of deflect, probably wouldn't notice that, but I don't know, who knows. And the there's nothing really here. Then because it's a range, so I go for the 5%. And again, I've got some points lying around, and I used to have Chamber, though, the one that you lose health to gain mental damage. But I realized that in a danger room environment, that probably will kill you faster than anything else because of some of the scenario you cannot heal. But this still count losing health, so you cannot compensate on that. So that's out of the question. So those notes are useless now. And well, at least if you play danger room on certain scenario, then I sort of like may as well gain that 1% towards the boss. It's a heavy stuff. So I don't know, man. It's just something that I've been trying. Heavy stuff. So feel free to bring this to another level, meaning that you can shift this for more DPS if you so wish to. For example, you might want to do a little bit better on the brutal component to it. Please do so. I put 1 point because that's probably how much it's worth. Plus 10 on the fighting is good because of hybrid. All right. So that is really much all that talk about Omega system in terms of hero synergy. Is very much the usual stuff. That you pick anything that is energy, pick anything that's mental. Both the mental and energy crit, you need to take care of it. And the some of them is both energy and mental, like Jane. Those are pretty good to have. Neutral one like Mr. Fantastic give you the crit damage. Those are neutral. So try to stick with neutral. Screw Girl for the damage versus Spore, Starlock for the energy crit, and and that's about it. I think it really should do a War Machine here. So probably looking back, I'll probably scale back on one of these like the one up there, and then put 1 point to probably to do away with Hawkeye, and then put into War Machine. All right, so that will probably give you the best result. And there's some brutal strike chance as well. So yeah, those are good for the hero synergy. All right, but I'm pretty sure once you know your hero, you probably know, depending on what you have anyway, you probably know what to pick up for them. All right. So in terms of the gear, you have many options to pick from, and these are just some of the base that I've been using, and I think as a hybrid, energy and mental is in a very good place. You can use the dupe ectoplasm; those procs are very nice. Try to get a high roll before you purchase it. And another one is I think I would recommend some other things like the Hand of Doom is nice as well. It depends on how much crit you want to sort of like close the gap, and something neutral like the Germ of the Curse as well is kind of neutral. I still use Metasensory because I don't think my power ranks is high enough to hit 50 yet, so I still need the kind of plus, because for Rogue you have so many single power here and there, 1 point here and there, so anything with +1 is actually quite good for Rogue. So that is also one of the options that I would like to recommend. But check out my artifact guide. There are other options out there. If you have bad things like maybe the Magneto, artifact is good for range. Maybe even the Taskmaster is also very good from my guide. So just take a look at that and sort of like know what kind of gap you want to close, because you may have a low crit, may not, so I do not know. And then the relics wise, the better one of course is the crit damage rating if you want to. This was a legacy decision that I carry forward, which I don't really regret, because I think now she's in a really nice place in terms of strong. She's pretty strong right now. So I'm happy to just pick any relics, and this is one of them. But you can use it. You can use a range as well, because sometimes the range one is just lying around, don't do what, right? So the range one is good. Crit damage is also good, but I usually use it for range / melee kind of hybrid. And the healing is good as well if you want your rook to be a little bit more durable. In terms of the Euroforge, it has to be. I think for hybrid build, it has to be power dupe. I use it on the defense, and I think it was a great decision, because now that with the defense revamp, defense stat become very relevant as well. So all these stacks that you have here is relevant as well. So you see 0 dodge, yeah. So that's nice. And in terms of the power cosmic wise, I mean that is the one that I would recommend. Do I recommend anything else? Grade 80, I don't really. I mean, you could take a bow, but the bow is not going to be that much better than a power cosmic, unless you have a lot of 1,000 already marked to burn. Feel free to get a bow. A bow will probably do well for you. But for those of us who enjoy a free legendary, this is actually quite good as well. It's better than any of the grade 70 legendary. All right. And ring wise, I mean, there are many options these days. I'm still trying to get the roll is horrible, but industrial city ring, I don't think you can re-roll a ring. Let me know. The danger room actually has one that's really nice. I think there's a mental and energy proc each other. So I was trying to farm that in terms of keep refreshing the vendor to get a high roll, but I'm still refreshing. I think that is the new lock-in kind of activity. People lock in, roll it, and then lock out. I hope you stay on and play. Anyway, for the unique wise, I mean her unique right now is really good. It's a lot more relevant now, and it shows in the time to kill. But the last one is still not as good as what I hope it is. I don't know why. If I use one of the best slot 5 I have for rogue, it just can't beat Mask of Zorn by a good margin. That I can actually measure it every time and I time it. So I would still recommend a Mask of Zorn. I think this one is from Magneto to sort of like to get your rogue in the even higher heights of I mean this roll is so, but it still beats the slot 5. I do not know. In terms of the costume wise, I mean it will be really good if you really love rogue and give her an invulnerable kind of thing. And I thank one of my friends to pass this to me online, and I would say yes. I mean it does make the hero more durable in a danger room kind of environment with the kind of invulnerable kind of core. If you don't, that's then you could try to get a life on hit as well. But I mean, I think because her damage reduction is actually quite low. Now, what else can you do about rogue? I mean, if you like to have 2 costumes, one for defensive, one for offensive, I would strongly recommend you go for dodge for your defensive one, because her dodge is basically 0. So whatever you put in as dodge will immediately gain a big deal because of the diminishing return. So if you really want your rogue to be more durable, especially when you play rogue as a melee, I would strongly recommend roll the dodge costume. All right. As for the for insignia, just do anything that makes sense to you. I managed to have this one, which is pretty decent. And if you have +1, the rank kind of like upgrade to it, because rogue needs it. She has so many 1 point everywhere. You've seen it. Pet wise is always this one for the non summoner. All right. So in terms of rotation, it's going to be very straightforward. Like I mentioned before, you have to apply the damage over time, the attrition layer, as well as the impact layer. But your priority is given to minus destruction over the Lavalanche over the Flames of the Fatan. If you are doing if you are actually have to take down the single target. All right. So so it goes something like this. All right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can close off. Then you can do a signature. All right. So that is very nice to start. And they'll probably give you quite a nice burst. Then you do 1, 2, 3 again. So now you just keep hitting the sand power, invisible when you can. Now don't reapply the other one first, and then after that Lavalanche, and then the Flame of Fatan. That's why I'm saying, always give priority to your minus destruction first. So like this. All right. So it's a little bit of priority system, and if your spirit is getting a little bit low, just use whatever that makes sense to you. So it's very nice. Wait a bit. Then now this round, I can't really use the gloss off. That's fine. I'll do it next round when it comes. All right. So rating Cajun and then 1, 2. So there's a certain priority system. Just get used to it. And your rogue will be very fun to play because it's very situational. But of course, if the mobs are moving around, then you need to reapply. Even if you keep whatever that you need to do, then you just have to do it. Keep the first 2 power. All right, Raging Cajun is on cooldown. Use it, and after that, I think I can use the. So now I just apply everything, and then gloss off, and then after that do a signature. All right, so very nice, and after a while you can get a flow of it. It's very, very, very beautiful because there's a priority system to it, and also there's it's situational, depending on the dynamic situation of the mobs everywhere. You may want to reapply immediately for the Flames of the Fatan as well as the Lavalanche. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's been great pleasure talking about Rogue with you guys because she is definitely one of my very favorite hero in this game, and it's a lot of work required, and I went through the up and down with Rogue as well, but I think now she's in a pretty good state. I think she still have a lot of room to improve. Do let me know how you feel about Rogue and how you build your Rogue, and and comment box below. I'm always happy to hear your thoughts on the stuff that because we are all Marvel Heroes fans, so passionately talking about this game. And okay, so this could be the last video I do for this year. The guide wise, I mean, I'll probably do some gameplay video. I may squeeze in another guide for you guys, and but I just rather wrap the year with the Rogue guide. And thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas. Bye.